Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
Hey, welcome to Talk Supernatural, because sometimes the only natural answer is supernatural.
We're Scott and Heidi, and we head up SWAT Supernatural Investigation here in the Great Lakes area.
We investigate and assist people with spiritually involved issues. We're called in for hauntings and spiritual oppression, night terrors, self-harm, demonic influences, and we even assist with law enforcement. Woo-woo! Check us out at EP612 SWAT.com.
And this show, Talk Supernatural, broadcasts live every Friday night. And we are live. Okay, you know, we get tons of emails. People ask us a lot of questions, and most of the time we are asked, why am I being haunted? Or, you know, what do they want from me?
Yeah, we get that a lot. Or they assume they know who or what it is already, and they communicate with it, and then they email us asking why freaky things are happening to them. So, but that's why tonight our topic is, what do spirits want from us?
You live in a world where you believe what you see and trust what you know.
I saw a white image, very detailed. It was almost like a photograph looking at me. I believe the property is cursed.
It got to the point where so much stuff was going on that my wife was scared to even go upstairs. She would sleep downstairs on the couch all the time.
Every night he'd see a chair moved inside that room, and he would leave it there at night, and next morning he would come and that chair would be moved.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want from me?
When I was around 5 years old, I used to talk to a ghost that would hang out by the woods.
The evil presence is definitely in and around the neighborhood.
And there's a female voice comes through loud and clear that says, I am the devil, dance.
They were telling me things like what happened to them, about how they died or where they died.
Yeah, I'm afraid. What do you want from me?
I knew the murders happened on this property. I felt they very much needed to be investigated.
What do you want from me?
I was told at that time that my house was rumored to be haunted.
The ghost in the car, he wasn't like a real person. He was a silhouette of a man.
Whatever this entity was, it was attached to the house, but it became attached to her.
What do you want from me? 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 What do you want from me?
You know, we do not claim that we have all the answers, but we base everything off our experience. What are you doing? You're galloping.
Yeah.
Because we have a Gallo Poll.
What? It's a Gallo Poll. How is she going to have a Gallo Poll without a Gallup? Not too bright, are you?
We found a Gallo Poll that 3 out of 4 people believe in ghosts. And in October 2014, Ripley's Believe It or Not, they polled Britain. I thought this was interesting. 55% of the people that they polled believed in ghosts. And 51% believed in aliens. But only 25% believed in God, which I was like, what? That's sort of, I don't know, the same thing in a way. I mean
the aliens thing, 51% of the people had it correct because, Yoda, you know? I mean, Yoda's an alien. He's over 900 years old. You don't become a 900-year-old alien without being an alien. You know, and let's look at the ghost side of this thing. 55% of the people believe in ghosts. I mean, we know it's true. Look what happened to Patrick Swayze. You know, they made a whole movie out of it when he died, you know.
And that's like the encyclopedia for paranormal.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, you know, you
right?
come back and hunt
people have always been fascinated with the supernatural.
Yep. Remember in 2004 when Ghost Hunters came out, the TV show Ghost Hunters. They had like haunted kids and ghost dolls and demon cats. You know, that was we were
right?
doing ghost hunting before Ghost Hunters.
We were doing that ghost hunting knee-high to a grasshopper. I remember I was ghost hunting before anybody died.
I hope you weren't talking like that. God.
And yeah, I mean, as old as we are.
The whole Paranormal Activity ghost hunting thing, it's still pretty steady, though.
Pretty steady. And why is that? I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because there's still ghosts.
There you go. So
there you go.
You're always going to be in business.
Yeah, always going to be in business.
Well, like we talked about last week, there is a reason why people have such a fascination with ghost hunting and the spiritual stuff, the supernatural. It's because our souls have this instinctive thirst. To connect with our true nature.
True nature.
It's the spiritual side of stuff, the paranormal. Like
pair of normals.
No,
that's us.
Not pair of normals. A para. See, now I'm starting to say it. I'm not going to listen to you.
You're coming to the dark side. This is good.
Hey, did you know the new Star Wars trailer's coming out? That's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
The new one.
No, any of them.
Yeah, you have. You've seen. Because of Yoda. Gosh, I'm falling for it. I'm not even going to listen to you anymore. I'm going to talk.
You got everybody convinced you're a redhead, don't you? You sure about that?
Stop. Way many people dedicate a lot of time and energy to seeking out spirits and to ghost hunting and stuff. Some make a lifestyle out of it and even form a faith from what they believe.
That's why we have thousands upon thousands of religions.
And the mission to find truth about our real existence. That's what it's about. People attempt to communicate with the dead. Spirits and angels. You know, if you go online, the practice of trying to communicate with the dead and stuff, it goes back as far as the 3rd century. But it really goes back, even farther, because if you look in the Bible, biblical times, it's listed even pre-Moses. So there's a lot of scripture about people trying to interconnect with the other side. And the Bible warns us not to do it because of the dangers.
Why is it dangerous?
Well,
we just don't have to...
we don't have the knowledge.
No.
Or the
capabilities.
Right. And if you can't grasp all that spiritual stuff, then you're just sort of like, I always envision it as putting on a blindfold and walking out into the middle of the expressway.
You're getting a car.
Exactly. That's why. Like Frogger. Beep, beep, beep.
Frogger.
Well, just like anything, there's good and then there's evil.
Everything has an opposite. Up, down, left, right, cold, hot, everything.
Good and evil.
And no difference in the spiritual world, in our military world, in any part of the country, anything you can think of, there's always an opposite. And I think sometimes for being a believer or non-believer or whatever you are, you realize everything has an opposite. So if there's a dark side, there's a light side. And so if there's a spiritual side, there's a good spiritual side and there's a bad spiritual side.
If there's a natural side, there's a supernatural side.
Or non-natural, like you and me.
A paranormals. The demonic are very deceptive, and they're destructive, and they destroy. And sometimes they'll pretend to be good. So, they'll come as beings of light, God says. He tells us that in 2 Corinthians, right?
He warns us that Satan can come as an angel of light. And in 1 Peter 5... tells us the devil is our adversary, and he's like a roaring lion that walks about seeking who he can devour, eat, munch, crunch.
Yeah.
Muncha, buncha. We like to munch on souls.
God, that's sort of creepy.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is.
Well, and the thing too is that if you're going out seeking spirits and stuff, you don't know what you're going to get, because a lot of times people will think that they have one thing when they have another. And I think
know quite what you're going to get when you get into the spiritual realm.
Exactly. Forrest.
You just open it up. The 10th land says you open it up, the gravestone, and you might just find, a haunting.
Yeah, I'm not opening up any gravestones. I think part of the problem is that pride replaces knowledge. Like people think that they've got it all going on and they know everything or they have the ability to comprehend it all. But it's like a toddler trying to get Einstein's theory of relativity. It's impossible.
We had to practice that word, didn't we?
Relativity.
Yeah, I tried it. Relativity.
Relativity?
Relativity.
Einstein's relativity.
Yeah, that's a new way of saying it.
Yeah, that's what they say in France. Relativity. No, I'm just kidding. Because Francis will hit.
I didn't fall for it. I knew it. They didn't.
Oh.
You just can't believe you were trying to sell me on this.
Yeah, well, you believe stupid stuff a lot of times. But
yeah.
So we've got terms like ghost and spirit, and we also hear poltergeist, entity, ghoul, or phantom.
I like ghoul.
Ghoul. Oh, that's sort of like Zool in Ghostbuster. No,
Ghostbusters. Zool.
Yeah, Zool.
Well, everybody knows Zool.
I'm the keymaster, right?
Yeah.
Are you the gatekeeper? Ooh.
Yes.
No, that's Yoda. Yes, what's that?
What? You okay? What are you doing?
You did it. You did.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you did.
You went.
No. Anyways.
Let's define spirit, shall we?
Not like, woo, cheerleader, woo. Not that kind of spirit. Like,
Yes,
I got the
boom,
spirit.
bah.
Yes, we do. We got the spirit. How about you? Not like that.
Wrong kind.
Spirit, like supernatural being or like an essence. When we use the term ghost, though, we're talking about a disembodied soul of a dead person. So a spirit can be an angel or a demon.
Can be.
But I mean, you could use it as a ghost. It's your spiritual form. But a ghost, when we say ghost, we refer to it as a person who has died.
Right.
So a disembodied spirit. So,
Ouija boards, mediums, books, spirit guides.
That's why
EVPs.
They try to talk to spirits that way.
They try to communicate with them.
Yeah. But, what they're doing is they just want answers to questions. They want peace about a situation or peace, for outcome.
It's often enough that when people begin to use some of these different things, that in the beginning, they will get some positive responses.
Right.
And they'll get some answers to some questions they want to know. They'll say, oh, wow, that's great, or this is going to happen to you.
I just looked at you said 11:11.
What?
That was crazy. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm off track now.
I'm sorry.
You just blew my train of thought, man.
Sorry.
All right, I'm spent.
I'm sorry. You were talking about that they'll give you answers and stuff, and you were saying, the spirits.
Right, and it leads one thing leads into another. So, and we've mentioned it before, but the first descriptiveness we have of Satan in the Bible is in Genesis when he talks about as he came and how he was subtle. The first thing he did was he was subtle when he came to Eve.
And then what did he do? He lied.
But he mixed truth with a lie.
Yep.
Because he said to her, he says, well, didn't God say that you couldn't eat or touch of the fruit of the tree of good and knowledge of good and evil? And she's like, well, yeah, that's right. And it's like, no, God didn't say nothing about touching it.
Right.
He said you couldn't eat it.
And another interesting point is God didn't talk to Eve. He talked to Adam. So she got her information from Adam. And in that translation, she was all confused.
Typical woman, though. Doesn't listen.
No. Oh, man, you're going to get the hate mail.
I know. Don't worry. I like women. I married one.
Yeah. Not women. He likes, like, in general.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was one.
Yeah. She was pretty cool. You have a couple daughters.
Yeah.
Daughters, so...
They're not cool yet. They're still daughters.
Yeah.
Takes some time to develop coolness.
Of course, like us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Old cool. But I think that everybody really wants definitive proof. That's why they seek out spirits a lot of times, is they just want proof that there is life after death. I mean, who wants to believe that this is it? Right?
Right. Well, the atheists, they like to believe that this is it. I can't imagine thinking that myself, and that's a sad thought. Hopelessness, existence.
Yeah.
Don't believe... be no proof.
If they don't have proof, if they don't see it, then they say it's not real. But sometimes seeing isn't believing. I think that believing is seeing.
It allows you to see.
Right.
I don't always blame the non-believer or the atheist. Really is someone that doesn't really have a good, firm knowledge of the foundation.
Usually.
Of the Bible or God, or a lot of them have been told so much stuff. Junk and religious junk.
Yeah.
And it's out there that they say there's no way that any of this makes sense. And in some cases, they're right. It doesn't make sense, some of the things that are taught out there in the world. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a sound wave?
I've never seen a sound wave.
But we do know that it exists, because without it, we wouldn't have a radio, would we?
That is correct. Oh, you're so smart.
Right. Nor would we have a podcast.
Oh, good. Oh, high five.
High five.
Yesterday was National High Five Day.
I think it was only like a 4.
Great.
Okay.
Yesterday was National High Five Day.
That was like 4.5. All right, there we go.
Oh, that stunts.
That's just because I work out.
Don't. But yesterday was National High Five Day.
Was it?
Yep. Double high five for that. Yesterday and today, and we just hit next year too. Look at that, if we forget.
Oh, wow,
awesome.
Good.
But listen, so check this out. So sound wave, right? Here's the definition for a sound wave. A sound wave is the pattern of disturbance caused by the movement of energy traveling through a middle ground, such as air, water, or any other liquid, solid matter. It circulates and spreads from the source that causes a vibration, such as like when you have a ringing telephone or a person's vocal cords. Okay? But wouldn't that be sort of like the same thing in the spirit realm? So if we were